Coach, let's start with the overall aspect of how many kids you had out here. There weren't only football players, there was, other student athletes out here, and how proud did that make you to be out there, AD and all, and just seeing the smile on those kids' faces and them signing those letters of commitment?
Well, I think it speaks volumes for our school and what these student athletes do, on and off the field in the classroom, and they take care of the academic side of things, and it puts them in a position where, college coaches can evaluate them and based on one thing, and that's their talent. When they take care of the things that are in their control, like the academics, it puts them in an opportunity to get recruited, and so it makes me proud to be a part of it. It's a fun day for the families, the friends of these student athletes, and it's a special day. So, yeah, I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Why don't you touch on some of the football players? I mean, I know there's a bunch of them, but, just for the people that don't know about these Vero Beach kids, you got a kid who's going to Brown. Brown, he's got a very high GPA, and then you have two guys going to the same school, and, they're spreading the wealth from Vero Beach.
Yeah, we were very fortunate. I feel very fortunate to have the type of talent that we were able to have this year, and you mentioned it, to have an Ivy League kid like Rakeem Marcel, and to attend and sign with Brown, and then to have two kids like Charles Ivory and Charlie Miller have an opportunity to play college football together, go to the same school, a top 25 program that's up and coming, at Northern Illinois, and Joe Hawkins, who was a great player for us, have an opportunity to play very early in his college career. I could go on and on through the list. We have Dwayne Hoylett down at Miami, an early enrollee. Have Austin Carter, a kid that graduated last year that went to prep school and is signing with Yale and will attend Yale next year. So, and then you mentioned just going through the football players, John Kent going to Weber International, and E.J. Pryor going to a junior college, Mendocino College out in California. There's a lot of football players there, and there's more to come. Signing day is just the first day, and there will be others that will sign after signing day and get an opportunity to compete at the next level, which, I think is part of our deal as a high school football coach. Try to do our best to put our kids in a position to succeed, not only at the high school level but hereafter. And you mentioned Sarah Cavell, the girls soccer player that signed today with Nova Southeastern, so it's a special day for her and her family as well.
I was talking to Rakeem, and he said that for 3 years he didn't know what he was doing or where he was going, or he said he pretty much didn't have anything, no offers or anything. He said all of a sudden it's, Coach Jay comes and I get all these offers and now I'm going to Brown. What does that mean to you to just have a kid like that who didn't know what he wanted to do, didn't know if he was going to make it in football, or, go to the school that he wanted to? It seems like he speaks volumes about being a student as well, and, the smile on his face when he signed that letter, and, when I was interviewing, it just seemed like he was in awe of, being able to go to a school like that, and, the help that you extended in doing that.
Well, he's a pretty easy sale, and I've talked to most of these guys when the college coaches come through. I could turn them loose. I could turn those college coaches loose on our campus and send them to guidance or administration or anywhere else, and they couldn't find anybody to say anything bad about a kid like Rakeem. I spoke to the Brown coaches after his official visit, and they talked to me about what an impression he made on their campus and with their head coach and their student body. He's just a very impressionable kid, and he's a great kid and has a bright future ahead of him. If I had a pocket full of money, I'd invest it in the Rakeem Marcel Fund, because he'll be, a huge success in life.
Charlie Miller had a bunch of late phone calls coming in, we'll call it that. How big of a smile at the same, I'm sure it's stressful, but how big of a smile did you have on your face when, you're trying to help a kid who you pulled from basketball, he trusted you to come over and play football, and he had all this stuff on the table, and just overall how excited you were for him and for this process to go as well as it did. So now you have good recruiting grounds through the basketball and, baseball team and so on and so forth.
Well, I think in Charlie specifically, he in this, again, another great kid. He had Northern Illinois who came in on him very early in the recruiting process. Their head coach spent a lot of time with him. Their position coaches, really every coach on their staff, spent a lot of time in Charlie's house doing home visits. And when it gets to the end of recruiting, you have maybe bigger schools, maybe SEC, ACC type schools coming in and offering Charlie late. And at the end of the day, he felt comfortable with what Northern Illinois had to offer. And it may seem like a smaller name with just in layman's terms, but really and truly they've got the longest winning streak in Division I football at 9, and they've had back-to-back 11-win seasons, and have a chance to have a really good team. He has an opportunity to go up there and play early on. And I think there's something to be said about being a school's #1 guy, instead of maybe a late guy or something. And I think again that speaks volumes for Charlie's character and what all he's about. So.
And we'll finish with this. I know you don't want to praise yourself about it, but your first year here, all the things that you've accomplished on and off the football field, where you put Vero Beach. It was already on the map, but now it's even further up. I mean, what does that mean to you, being able to come in here and accomplish as much as you did, this first year?
Well, you just take it day by day, and you try to do the best you can, each day. And we're very lucky to have, we got a great coaching staff, and we were able to deal with great kids on a day-to-day basis. So I get a lot of great help from our staff, and got an administration that's top notch, and it's a great place. So I don't have, there aren't any crazy goals that you set at the beginning of the season that you have to have this or you have to have that. You just try to do the best you can, and fortunately I've got good kids to work with.